Alright, welcome to episode 2 of a podcast that I named now. Not sure if that's going to be the official name forever, but at the moment that's what it is. So, today I don't have any special guests or anything like that because I'm not really trying to be in contact with too many people because of events that are still going on. So, the original plan for this quote-unquote podcast was for me to discuss things that I feel like discussing, talk about things I want to talk about. For example, I think the main thing I wanted to talk about in the podcast was the classes I had when I was still in school, specifically in high school, because there were a lot of unique people in each class, or unique things that happened. I'm not sure if I should try to break it down per year or per class. I'll start off with my first semester in 9th grade in my science class. I don't remember if I had too many people who I talked to in that class or not. Honestly, I don't think I really talked to anybody. But what I had to do during that first semester and when I first got to my first class in high school was I had to ride my bike, and it's about 3 to 5 mile give me a second. Okay, just random notification. It's a 3 to 5 mile distance from my school to my house, and I had to ride my bike. The thing is that going to school, it was mainly downhills, so I had to go up one half steep hill, and then just straight down. But on the way back, I used the public transportation, which in the front had a bike rack, which I think might have failed. It failed once. I'm not sure if I couldn't put it down or it just failed, but I had to take my bike inside a public bus, which was unique for me, at least. Whenever I used public transport, I don't remember anybody else taking their bike inside, nor many people using their bikes. But I think it dropped me off about a mile away from my house. So that was how I got to school for my first semester. And for my first class, which I had, was science. See, in order to get all these things, I think I went through in my own mind of what classes I had and what order. That way I can sort of jot down specific notes and what classes I had, because if I'm being honest, one year after not being in school, I forgot most of the classes I had. So I thought this would be the best way to do it. So after I got to school, I parked my bike at the bottom of a hill. I chained it up and had to walk up. Well, those who went to the school I went to know that it's not one building, but in fact it's, I think, at the point I graduated, I think it was 12, because one burnt down. But I parked my bike in front of the lowest parking, and I had to walk all the way up to the furthest building at the very top for my science class. So it wasn't the greatest of times, but I mean, I had to do what I had to do. And what made it worse, which I feel like I'm eventually going to get, what I hope to eventually get to, was the point where I had, in my first semester, I had science, Chinese, gym, and math. But I mean, after a 3-mile ride to school, I had to walk to the top for my first class, walk all the way down to the main building for Chinese. I had to walk. I had to go all the way up to the very top again for gym, run a mile, go to math. I mean, going to math after the gym isn't that bad, but since they were in the same building, but then have to walk all the way down and rush to get the bus because, the bus passed at around 3:20, 3:25, and we didn't get out of school until 3:20, so it was a bit of a rush down to the bottom of the hill, unlock the bike, put helmet on, rush to the bus stop, because, I mean, I'm pretty sure I did faster timing riding my bike than I would have running or anything like that. And I think once or twice, a few times, the bus left me behind and I had to wait on the opposite side for it to return, and it took about maybe half an hour extra. I mean, sure, I could have ridden home, but why ride home when I could pay $1, you know? So, once I think I missed the bus, I'm not 100% sure, but as I was crossing the street, or as I was waiting for the bus, a car a car stopped at the stop sign, and as soon as it was stopping, a car got behind it, hit it at a pretty high speed, as much as I can hear the wheels squeal. Is that the right word? I'm not 100% sure. The wheels squeal. It hit it, and as it hit it, a cop was turning from a different direction. It almost seemed like a movie, and that's not the first time something like that's happened before. I think once I was driving on a semi big road, and I think I was to the side or behind a 16-wheeler, a big trailer, and one of the wheels fell off. Like, I don't remember which side I was on, but like, I don't think it exploded or anything like that, or probably just fell off. And a cop was right behind it or next to it, and again it turned its lights on, and yeah, it was a very interesting experience. So I got to see 2 coincidences happen with cops being hit by cars. I forgot what I was talking about. Let me check my notes because I use notes. And so in my science class, because I rode my bike, we were doing a resting heart rate lab or something like that, and everybody was checking their heart rates, and I'm not sure if this is healthy or not. It's been about 5 years, so things could have gone better or worse. After having ridden my bike to school, walked all the way up a hill, they're like, all right, let's get our quote-unquote resting heart rate. And, I mean, was it really rested at that point? Everybody was getting lower numbers, and I think mine was like at 120 beats per minute, which I think is pretty high. I don't know. That's sort of what I'm thinking it was. And they're like, how is that your resting heartbeat? I'm like, it's not. I just got here, and I had to come all the way to the top, and I think I got there early enough where I would try to relax, calm down a little. But that didn't help too much that day, 'cause I might have been a bit on time or something like that. And on my first day of school, I think I arrived like 30 minutes early, maybe 15 minutes early. And the teacher I had at the time was like, oh, they're having an assembly in the cafeteria. So I went to the cafeteria, no assembly, got back, I think there's a chance he just didn't want me to be outside of his class. I think. But yeah, I think that's the most interesting thing that happened in that class. I really don't remember much of anything else happening in there. I guess since I really didn't talk to too many people, and the people that I did talk to were kind of lame. Ooh, look who's talking. Since I guess that's one of the more boring classes, I guess I'll move on to the Chinese class, which was, I think I took two Chinese levels, Chinese 1 and Chinese 2, throughout the first and second semester. I don't remember anything too memorable during the class. I mean, nowadays I can barely remember how to count to maybe 9 or 10. But after that, I also know how to say hello. I'm not going to say anything here because people are mean and they're going to take me out of context. One thing I did learn, or I saw, they were showing, I don't understand the context behind it, because they showed us a movie that was originally based on something that happened in Japan, in a Chinese class. Made, I guess, to be centered in the U.S. about a dog. At the moment right now, I have my sister Guadalupe here joining me, and I'm going to tell her the story. So, to all my listeners at the moment, if she gets mad, you're going to hear her reaction. The movie was based about a dog who was found in a train station. I will not be quiet. I'm going to tell the story. And spoiler alert, I will say the end of the movie. So I'm not going to put any timestamps or anything because that's too complicated. But just fast forward to the point wherever if you don't want to hear the spoilers. The movie is called Hachi. Yes, cover your face like that because you know where this is going. So it's based about a dog found in a train station. The owner tries to find the original owner of the dog. Fails. He keeps the dog and it follows him everywhere. And the owner dies halfway through the movie. And I remember watching it. I didn't even get to see the part where he died in the Chinese class. So I had to look it up separately. And that's when I showed my sister here the movie. And she had a fabulous time because the owner dies and, you know, the dog keeps going to the train station day in and day out. The daughter of the owner has a kid who is presenting the story to the class. And the dog keeps going to the train station, and at the very end, which is where the big spoiler is, the dog seems to die out in the train tracks. And as what it seems when he's dying, I think you hear a train, and then you see the dog Hachi get up and go towards the door, and the owner walks out. Yes. And he goes up to the owner and starts jumping on him out of excitement, which in theory could be symbolized as him joining him in the afterlife, in a quote-unquote better place. I'm not laughing at the situation. I'm laughing at my sister's reaction. Isn't that right? And keep in mind, she's crying right now because of the way I'm explaining it, not because she's watching it or anything. Which, in theory, I could have put on the TV right behind me while I was explaining it, but I didn't. And now that we're on the topic of dogs, I'm guessing most of you have heard the song "Happier" by Marshmello. I think who's it with? Let me look this up real quick. With Bastille, yes. The people who made Pompeii, the song, the one that goes eh-oh, eh-oh. I'm not gonna sing it on key because there's always a 50% chance that this new channel will get taken down. So, this song talks about trying to make somebody happier, but the video goes in a slightly different direction, where there is this young girl on her birthday. It wasn't your birthday yesterday? Oh, what if I would have done the same thing and gotten you a dog? And then it shows how the dog and the little girl grow up, and well, I think towards the lower end of the song, I'm still not sure about music terms what it'd be called, but during the lower part of the song, in the music video, something's wrong with the dog, and it's taken to, I guess, an emergency room for dogs. And it's, if I'm not mistaken, it's put down. That's why it's being taken away. And I think when that happens, the dog put its paw on the girl who's older at the time, and then it shows it being taken away. And at that point, my sister here, say hello, she's waving, started crying. I'm pretty sure. I can't hear you. If you need to say anything, speak, because I don't do sign language. 1 second. It was emotional. You hear that here, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, that was a very great music video, which I guess made Guadalupe here come to tears. And once. Watch. I feel like there's a 50% chance Guadalupe, my sister here, is going to use text to speech to write something. The last time you used text to speech, you just said no. Is that what you're gonna do? But yeah, that was one of the better music videos. And another music video, which is not related to anything, that I watched in Chinese class, which is the original topic, was this song called "Welcome to Beijing." I guess used for the 2008, I think 2008 Olympic Games. Very interesting song. Do you need to say something, Guadalupe? No. No to what? I'm not sure if I saw the music video in Chinese 1 or Chinese 2. All I know is that it's a song that I half know, but not that I fully understand. Like I said, I can barely count to like 10 or something like that. Anywho, I guess I've completed talking about 2 classes that I had in my first semester of school. For today, I guess that's how I'll end things. I'm not sure when I'll return with another episode or if this one's even going up in the first place. If it does, good for me and for you because you have something else to listen to. If it doesn't, that's on me. Oopsie doo. For me and Guadalupe here, we say no, 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 no. Isn't that right? What do we say, Guadalupe?
No, 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 no.
Thank you.